Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Saturday in Bangkok for me anyway. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you all for tuning in to another Saturday morning edition of Do More Life. Uh, we've had a unique experience here in Thailand, or I have anyway, and in learning how to do more life here in Thailand. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Some of this is going to be investment oriented. Some of this is going to be lifestyle oriented. And of course, I'm going to bring you guys all of the latest up-to-date travel information, so you guys will know what's going on with foreign tourism here in Thailand, domestic tourism here in Thailand. We can take a look at projecting opening dates. We'll talk about the ever-weakening Thai baht, which is good news if you're trading a currency, a stronger currency such as the U.S. dollar or pound or euro, whatever the case may be. Let me just say hello to everybody that I already said hello to in the chat, and welcome my channel members. I appreciate you guys being here very much. I welcome you, sir. Mr. Mark says my Doge is only down 13%. Yep, Doge turned out to be an investment that is going to be a long-term hold for sure. We'll talk a little bit about crypto because I have invested in, I've started a portfolio in crypto since I've been here in Thailand, and it's my personal opinion. I'm not a full disclaimer here. I'm not a travel agent. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not licensed in any of those fields. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an expert on anything that is said in this video. So just take everything that I say with a grain of salt, do your own research, and just understand that everything I'm doing is based on my experience, or everything I'm telling you is based on my experience or the experiences I've seen of others. So with that being said, I created a small portfolio. I believe personally that crypto is going to be the future of money. It'll take a long time, but I believe that. And therefore I made small investments in Doge, Cardano, ETH, and Bitcoin. That's the entirety of my little portfolio. And I'll look at, and again, I'm not going to turn this into a crypto video because that's not what this is about, or a financial investing video. Although there are apps here such as BitCub, I think it's called BitCub, here in Thailand, that you can actually trade crypto in or buy crypto on it's licensed by the SEC, the apps are. So you can actually do that here. If you're in the US, you can use companies like Binance or Coinbase or whatever the case may be. So those are financial investments that I've made, but again, very small because we've had the partial furlough here. I've taken on a second job, as you guys know, online teaching. I made an investment in that. I spent about 3,000 baht in lighting and props to be able to teach that correctly, to be able to do my job there. And I've also made some investments in myself, and that's kind of really what I wanted to get at the big. Yeah, Bitcoin's around, Matthew. It's going to be there to stay for sure. In my opinion, it'll be there to stay for sure. I look at Bitcoin as the new gold. That's just my personal opinion. Again, like I said, you heard the disclaimer. It is what it is. Asia Unscripted, what's up? Prep for it. Good to see you. Gotta love Thailand. Glad you're here. Hey, Ross. Philto says the ultimate inflationary benchmark, the standard Snickers bar. Paydays are yummy too. I like that. That's a good one, Philtos. I like that. Hey, Tim. Good to see you, bud. Ross says, Philtos, there's actually a Big Mac benchmark. Look it up online. It shows a cost of a Big Mac in every country with a McDonald's. That's interesting. Mark says, I need a planter to come back. Planter. planter. I'm not sure. Let me read you today's video description, and that way you guys will know exactly where I'm going with this. And so we can get the financial stuff out of the way real quick. I just want you guys to know that financial investments are something that I'm just now learning. I've looked at index funds. I've looked at other types of things. And right now it seems to be, to me, that crypto is a good investment after doing my homework. So I've been really trying to learn crypto, but I just I never have the time to do everything that I want to do because there's always so many projects going on. As of right now, I currently have my regular job, which is, of course, less than part-time right now, but, we're getting half month's pay for that. And then I have the new online teaching gig, which last week I taught 10 classes there. So I'll probably teach more this week. I opened up more time slots. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with classes, and I still have some training to complete with that company. But I invested a lot of time and a lot of energy and a little bit of money in props and toys and lighting and things like that for that job, which is that'll pay for itself in a month, easy. And after that, I'll have profit, and that's what I'm looking for, is profit. Thank you, Robert, for dropping the PayPal link and the Cash App. That is a way. I will pin that to the top. I very much appreciate you putting that in there. That is a way to contribute to the channel and to help keep us going. You can also hit the thumbs up button. That does it for free. That helps push out the videos. And on YouTube's algorithm, I really appreciate that, guys. So outside of the financial realm of stuff, let's talk about today's video. In this live discussion, I will explain my best investments in Thailand, which, by the way, are not really financial. Well, in some ways they're financial, but I'll explain in detail. And give the latest travel and news updates for Thailand in 2021. My best investments have been investments I've made in myself, such as learning new skills, traveling to different parts of Thailand, and choosing to live and work in Thailand. When it comes to foreign and domestic travel in Thailand, the good news is not good. No, I'm sorry. The news is not good in 2021. Thailand travel is all but non-existent. Thailand is under lockdowns, curfews, business closures, and interprovincial travel restrictions. All of these travel restrictions are a result of COVID infections in Thailand. This video will discuss these topics surrounding travelers, tourists, and expats who live or want to visit Thailand. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I just want to talk about, first of all, going back to the investment side. And I said that I made investments in myself, such as learning new skills. Well, since I've been here, I've learned more about the things that I really, really enjoy doing, which is media, particularly photography, videography, those kinds of things. And I've been able to get more programs, learn more skills, have more practice, do more things with those. And that is in turn, looks like it may pay off with a new project that I'm working on that I'm not really going to get into yet, just because it's just too early. So with so much on my plate, it's good to have these new skills. Learning to be an online teacher, as I have been doing for the last 2 years, has been a challenge, but it's also been, even though I'm working at it as a job, it's been a great investment in myself because it's taught me a different way to communicate. It's like a different set of communication skills. And that has been extremely beneficial to me, and it will be extremely beneficial going forward. Some other investments I made in myself is into this YouTube channel. A lot of the contributions that we get go back into the YouTube channel, or currently setting in an account, waiting for the next computer or the next camera or the next whatever we may need for this channel. As you can probably tell today, the lighting is a little bit better because I invested in some lighting. I now have a microphone, and we've had that for a while, but investing in things that yield a profit is what I've learned how to do. And that profit doesn't always have to be financial. That profit can always be can also be emotional. It can be mental. I've learned how to say no. Like I don't put out a video every day anymore on YouTube, but I simply don't have time. So I just have to say no. There are certain things that go on in my life, such as the new internet job. That there are certain times I can't work, so I just say no because I'm working on something else. There will be times when this new project I'm working on will come up, and I just learn how to say I can't. I got to slow down. I have to stop for a second, regroup, and think about what's really important, right? All of those things have been investments I've made in myself and in my mental and emotional well-being, and I think those things are very important. I also want to clarify that I invested a lot of time and energy into making the videos that I made when pre-COVID, before all this chaos happened. The channel, this channel through PayPal, Cash App, and Super Chats has been a blessing in terms of traveling, because I've been able to travel around Thailand and see some of the most amazing places that I'll probably I may never get to see again. I don't know. Who knows what tomorrow holds, right? So I've invested in things that will forever change my life in a positive direction. It's just like, I'll use the analogy. It's just like investing in the stock market or investing in Bitcoin, for example. While it may fall, right, it's always going to rise. And there are technical reasons for that, but it's always going to be an asset. And just like, again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is what financial advisors have told me. Just like traveling around Thailand, learning the culture, living and working in Thailand, and understanding the visa process, what it's like to be a person that lives and works here, what it's like to be a person that enjoys what they do here, what it's like to be a person that doesn't enjoy what they do here, but yet live here anyway. I've engaged in all that, and to me, that's been one of the most profitable things I can think of, because it's got my mindset where it needs to be. Good morning, Robert. Hello, good to see you. Glad you are here. Thank you for your channel membership, and don't forget, you can get in our channel members only line group anytime you want. All you have to do is send me a friend request online, and you are in, bud. Learning new skills. You guys already know that I'm into Lightroom and Photoshop and Adobe Premiere and some other things. Since I've been in Thailand these 3 years and 4 months now, I have to say that I've learned a lot. I've also forgotten a lot, because I've had a little bit less practice with some of the software than I've had with others. And it's been a good learning process for me. It's been a good learning process, because now I'm at the point where I need those skills to come back for various reasons. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to get those skills rocking and rolling, and put them back to good use. And also learning some new applications as well, and investing in those applications financially has been a blessing in disguise for sure. Jason, another channel member, welcome. Good to see you. Very slow start for a Saturday morning here on the DoMoreLife channel, but hey, it's all good, right? I'm not worried about a lot of people, and that's something else I've learned too. The only person, let me tell you what YouTube has taught me, and investing in YouTube, what it's taught me. There is no logical purpose ever to compete with another vlogger or another YouTube channel or another person in life in general. Because the only person's success that I need in life, I don't want to say that I care about, because that's not true. I care about a lot of people's success, but the only person's success that I need in life is my own. So why would I worry about anybody else's? Just having that mindset has flipped the switch and has taken a lot of stress off my back, and made a lot of, it's just made me a happier person. It really has. I don't compete with people. I don't care if there's 2 people watching in the live stream or 200. It doesn't matter. The people that are supposed to be here, the people that want to be here, will be here. And those that don't, won't. It's pretty much that simple. Good morning, Anon. You have done your 25-kilometer bike ride, I see, and I am glad you enjoyed it, sir. I know you enjoyed it because you always enjoy it. Anon is a channel member, and he is also a member in our line group. And I encourage those of you that are not channel members, that are not in the line group, to become a channel member so you can get in the line group. It's a very small investment, $2.99 a month, and you get extra content, which fell behind this month for sure. I think I only put up one extra video in the channel member section. We had a live stream in the Line app, which I thought the Line app would be like Facebook and save the video, but it didn't. So we'll have to make sure that we have the live streams on the YouTube channel itself from this point forward. Anna, and are you the next Poga Robert? I don't know what that means, bud. I have no idea. Learning new skills. We've talked about that. I've learned how to travel effectively. I've learned how to communicate a little bit in Thai, and that's a pretty big accomplishment for me, because foreign languages have always been something I've struggled with, and being immersed in the Thai culture, being around Thai people, has forced me to learn just enough to get by, right? And even with only learning just enough to get by, it's still been a good learning and growing process for sure. Filtho says the reason is not necessary to directly compete is capitalism. Great little speech in Atlas Shrugged about the American concept of making money. Oh, I get it. Okay, gotcha. Winner of the Tour de France. Oh, he's talking to Anna. I got you, bud. I got you. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about there. But, yeah, that's all good. Traveling to different parts of Thailand. So let me talk about that and why that's a healthy investment. When you travel and see some of these places in Thailand, for those of you that have never been, like I went to Koh Chang, went there with Ross. That was a multi-beneficial trip, because A, I'm going with somebody who's experienced traveling in Thailand, and B, I'm going to a new place that I've never been before. Now, granted, the island wasn't, open while we were there, so we didn't get the full experience, but I got to see Koh Chang, Koh Samet, been to Krabi, been to Onang Beach, been to Raleigh Beach, been to Hong Island, Chicken Island, another island out there somewhere. I can't remember the name of it. And a few of the other islands around Thailand I've been to. I've been to all the islands off the coast of Pattaya. And yes, there are more than one. There's not just Koh Larn. And I've spent plenty of time in cities like Pattaya, Bangkok, Rayon. So I've got a taste and a feel for the different, what I call the different versions of Thailand, right? You got the Rayon version, which is the it's the wealthiest province in Thailand, but it's more like it's like a good suburb type living experience, to equate it with something. Then you got Bangkok, which I've lived in over 2 years. It's got the full city experience with the BTS and these new electric buses and all kinds of public transportation and big super malls and boats and everything you can think of. And then Pattaya, of course, is party central, and things are just different down there. It's just a different feeling. It's a different format. It's a different experience, different lifestyle in that area. So I've gotten a pretty good grip on what's all around. What I need to do next is get up north and experience what the northern lifestyle is like, and I look forward to doing that. So that's been something interesting. Now, choosing to live and work in Thailand is something else that I did. Living and working here requires a lot of patience. I have to be honest with you, because not so much the living here part requires patience, but the working here part requires patience because of the visas, the work permits, the way that you have to go about getting these things. Some of the regulatory red tape that Thailand uses is extraordinarily frustrating sometimes. And once you get used to it, you know what's coming, so you know how to better prepare, what to expect, that kind of thing. And, I feel better about the position that I'm in now. And I can help people that are thinking about coming to Thailand. Because I have that information, and that's always good for me. So working in Thailand has been challenging, especially I'm working in a foreign country, right, away from 9,000 miles from home, and I'm partially furloughed. So it forced me to get outside my comfort zone and do things that were uncomfortable. And that is the best thing. That is the best way, in my opinion, to grow in life, right? Is to get outside your comfort zone, because once you get comfortable being uncomfortable, you are no longer uncomfortable. I know that sounds weird, but that's the way I grow, and that's the way I learn. That's just me personally. Now, so those are some of my investments that have been made here. A big thank you to people who contribute to this channel on a regular basis, because without you guys, probably wouldn't have been able to do any of that stuff. Well, not any of it, but wouldn't have been able to do most of it. Let's put it that way. And this channel has been an incredibly supportive avenue for me, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's really been great. It really has, and I'm so happy to have a DoMoreLife family. I really am. Now, when it comes to foreign and domestic travel in Thailand, let's talk about some of that news, because basically, right now, pretty much all of that stuff is non-existent. There's been some major breaking news with the travel restrictions. For those of you that don't know, they basically sealed off Phuket completely. You can't get on Phuket without extraordinary measures, unless you are indeed a foreign tourist coming in. They've touted in July, they've touted the Phuket Sandbox as a complete success, as a model for the rest of the world. I just heard it yesterday. I actually watched a video on it. Do I agree with all that? Sure, why not? I mean, if it seems to be working, they did go over their required or their limited, the limit that they had set on COVID infections, but they continued to push forward with the sandbox. And I think at this point they realize they have to, because if they don't, there's going to be the failure of the Phuket sandbox would set Thailand back tremendously, tremendously. It would not be a good look for Thailand in any way, form, or fashion if that were to fail. They pulled the 7+7, in case you guys have been reading about that, where you do 7 days on Phuket and then go to Koh Samui or other places. Some guys that actually opened up a bar or remained open during the emergency decree when they were supposed to be closed were actually jailed and have been fined. And it's been a rocky road for some of those guys. There's Mr. Charles White taking a break from trying to fish an alternator out of a cramped car, going to listen while I kept at it. I hear you, bro. Good luck with that alternator. Like we were talking about in the line group, I hate working on cars, so more power to you. Today, speaking of travel news, we have another record number of cases. And unfortunately, we also have a record number of people who are no longer with us as well. So 21,838 new infections today. That's not counting the 6,000 or so rapid antigen tests that you can buy at pharmacies now and can be taken home. So the number would presumably be a little bit higher than that. The good news is 21,108 patients were released from hospitals within the past 24 hours. So nearly the amount of new cases. I was trying to find the number of people who are no longer with us, which should be listed right here. 212. 212. So that's the largest number by quite a few people that we've seen so far, and that's why I'm just so I just don't believe in these lockdowns. I don't believe in the lockdowns. And by the way, the civil court ruled. I need to read you guys this statement because a lot of people were worried about people like us being able to speak freely on YouTube about the situation that we're going through. And basically it says today, this is from the Tiger as well. It says today the Thai courts have ruled against the PM by stating he probably overstepped his authority by banning any news/information that could incite fear in the public. The civil court issued an emergency injunction after a group of media companies/human rights lawyers petitioned the court. The court says the PM exceeded his constitutional authority to restrict such information and cut offenders' internet access, regardless of whether the information posted was true or not. The decision by the civil court comes a week after the PM issued his 29th order during a year-and-a-half-old emergency decree. The order was widely decried by the media. Many critics saw it as more of a gag order than an order that would benefit the country. You can read the full press on the press release on the Tiger, and it says, after the controversial order was issued, the government backtracked a tad to say that it's permissible to criticize them, provided the criticism is facts-based. So we only do facts on this channel, in case you're new and want to wonder. We don't do a lot of we try not to do any hyperbole, and we certainly don't do a lot of theorizing. We may make predictions from time to time and make some educated guesses, but that's pretty normal, I would think, from people that like you and me that just have opinions and want to know. Now, if you want to get into Thailand, the Tiger seems to have come up with a way for you to do that. And it's a sponsored article, and you can read it. I'm not going to read it to you because it's basically just an ad for a travel promotion situation. It's Enter Thailand quickly and easily during COVID-19 is the headline of the article. You can read that, and anytime you read an article like that and or read that headline, that should give you, if you know anything about Thailand and the current situation, you should know to take everything that's being said with a grain of salt in that article. Because in my personal opinion, there is no quick and easy way to enter Thailand right now. Big Time 911 says, how is YN? YN is, as far as I know, they're under many restrictions. I think Anon could probably give us a better breakdown of how YN is, as he's closer to YN than I am. I'm not 100% sure on the exact status of YN Big Time, but when I went there, it was a very nice place. It's a very clean place. Lots of expats and lots of businesses. It's pretty cool. It's a good place to check out. I thought we can discuss opinions here. Of course we can. I just said we can discuss opinions here. Bangkok Warrior. He wrote it in twice. Of course you can discuss your opinions. I was referring to the facts about the media. You can talk about your opinions all you want to. The civil court ruled against the PM. That's what I was referring to. It has nothing to do with being able to discuss your opinions. You can discuss your opinions in here freely and openly, so long as you don't slander the Thai government, me, or the channel. And I says, Big Time 911, Pratchett, Kurikan, and Dark Red Zone, restaurants and bars closed, takeout only. Most stores are open, but there are restrictions in malls like Market Village and Blueport. Yep. So, the Dark Red Zone is not the place to be. That's where I'm at in Bangkok right now. No interprovincial travel is allowed, unless you're going to get a jab, or you have to work in another province, or you have some kind of emergency or something that really holds water, and you have to register beforehand and get a QR code and all that stuff if you're planning to travel back and forth interprovincially. So those are just things to keep in mind as we talk about travel restrictions and these never-ending lockdowns that seem to do no good. Every time we have a lockdown, the numbers rise. That's statistically true. You can look it up for yourself, and things seem to get worse when we have lockdowns. The businesses close, people lose their employment. It takes a huge economic toll on Thailand and in general. Just got word this week that Pattaya had a reopening plan scheduled for October. It looks like it's going to be pushed back, as Chonburi's seeing around 1,000 cases a day in that province. So, of course, they're concerned about it. Things just don't look. If I was a traveler right now, I would not be making plans to come to Thailand. I really wouldn't. I would wait until the situation was better. I don't want to say the situation was better under control, because it seems as though the authorities that think that containment is the way that they're going to solve this issue with COVID. In my opinion, containment there is no more containment. Sure, you can isolate people if you can find the original person, but the problem is now you can't find patient zero anymore of these clusters or these outbreaks, right? It's just spread too far. There's too much of it here. So the options are to get the jab, jab everybody, which Thailand has done a good job recently. They got out, I think last week they got out 1 million jabs or more, which is fantastic. That would be the highest number they've done so far. And no matter how much we bitch, moan, and complain about these lockdowns, they are hell-bent on extending them. They just said that they were going to extend the current lockdown, which was only supposed to be 14 days ago, through the August 31st. They would reevaluate on August, I think, the 14th or the 15th, something like that, just to be sure. But they were going to likely be extending until August 31st. In my personal opinion, for those of you that are concerned about coming to Thailand and will the lockdown still be here, so the emergency decree was signed, and it's been, every time it's come up, or every time its end has come up, they've re-signed the emergency decree, right? Re-implemented it. So, and that's been going on for a year and a half. I feel like this latest string of lockdowns in these dark red provinces, that it started with just 5, and then it went to 10. And now we're at 29 provinces that are under dark red zones. So, the mentality here seems to be that, and listen, I'm not assigning blame to anybody, okay? This is not anybody's fault, all right? It's a virus. It's not anybody's fault. Nobody knows exactly how to deal with this thing here. I get it. I'm not blaming the Thai government in any way. I'm not blaming the Thai people in any way. I'm just saying some of the mental work of these authorities have to change in order for Thailand to reopen. If Thailand doesn't reopen soon, there's already a decimated economy here. There's going to be severe economic impact, and I really hate to see that. I really do. I think it would be a almost a tragedy, really, to be honest with you, here in Thailand, because there's so much good stuff here. Let's see. Let me go up and catch some comments. Anna says, I live in Phetchaburi province. They are still serving food outside on the beach, and you can sit down there, but all restaurants are closed here too, takeout only. Yeah, the problem in Bangkok is there's no beaches to sit on, unfortunately. He says, but I need a haircut and barbers are closed. Yep, me too. May need to let girlfriend use trimmers on me. Risky. Yeah, that's always risky. I've had the same offer, and I've declined. Respectfully. Bangkok Warrior says, saw video from Buzz and Thai on entertainment areas of Bangkok, like Nana Plaza, Soy Cowboy, and it was a ghost town, so sad. Yep, I went down there myself and recorded some videos. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up button, by the way. I really appreciate that. That's something that's free and something that makes me feel good on the videos. I really appreciate those. But yeah, it's pretty much a ghost town in those areas, the nightlife entertainment areas. And it's going to be, that's another thing. The longer everybody stays shut down, the more these girls are turning to websites to make a living. And even though it's illegal here in Thailand, I think a lot of people are looking the other way because they know that's the only way that these people can support themselves. So we'll see what happens with that when Thailand reopens. We don't know. I have a bad feeling that a lot of bar owners and a lot of the way that things used to be done in the nightlife is going to change significantly. And it won't be, it'll be more expensive for customers due to various reasons that obviously I can't discuss on here. Rob P says, let me go back up. It says, when is something election in Thailand? I'm not sure if you said the next or whatever. I'm not sure, Rob. That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. Lyle says, I saw today NYC is requiring proof of V to enter stores, restaurants. In my day, the V card meant something else. Yes, Lyle, I completely understand. And I saw that too. There was also some stores in California doing the same thing. it's going to be a constitutional thing. These cases are going to wind up in the Supreme Court of America, and requiring those kind of things to enter establishments. I just don't see it passing muster. I just don't see it. Rob P says Swedish government dealt well. They did. Bangkok Warrior, in my opinion, the way cases are still going up in Thailand will not open until March of next year. Just my opinion, nothing negative. No, I wouldn't take it negative. I think it may be longer than that, to be honest with you, Bangkok Warrior. So I'm definitely not taking it. I'm becoming more and more practical about because the government sees this, or not, I don't want to say the government, I want to say all the health authorities in general. The consensus seems to be that we have to contain and eradicate, right? The time for that is over. It's gone. You can't, it's not going to happen. I mean, I'm not a doctor. It's not medical advice. This is my opinion, but I just don't see it happening. This is something that is now worldwide. We're all going to have to live with it, one way or the other, for a very long time. It's forever, probably. So, in my opinion, it's best to start learning how to live with the situation. And something else that I just wanted to make a little point on here that I thought was worth making a point on. When we're not under lockdown and when we don't have these insane, crazy travel restrictions that sometimes get implemented here, it seems as though the people take better care of themselves to protect themselves than when they are in lockdown. Like, people like to come to Thailand, and I personally don't drink or do drugs or anything like that, but people like to come to Thailand and have a good time. Well, they've got the alcohol ban in all the dark red zones, and in most other places as well. There's some kind of alcohol ban. So, if just your average person wants to come over here and they want to, have a drink or whatever, in most of the fun places right now, they can't. One, either the business isn't open or there's a ban preventing them from engaging in that activity. You can't go to a restaurant in the dark red province, sit down and have a beer because restaurants are closed. And even if there weren't, there's an alcohol ban on, the businesses that are open. Sure, you can go different times of day and go to 7-Eleven and buy alcohol in some places, but it's just it feels like too much. It feels like there's too much constriction of freedom in Thailand right now, and it wears on the body, it wears on the mind, and it wears on the emotions. It really does, and that's kind of where travel is right now, to be honest with you. It's taxing. Rob, while I agree with your comment, we cannot use the names of medications on here. So, sorry. Cannot use those. Definitely cannot use those. YouTube won't allow it. Not me. YouTube won't allow it. Asia Unscripted says that Thailand will become like third world Africa if nothing changes. That's a possibility, Asia Unscripted. And when I get on my motorbike and take off for work, my 2 or 3 days a week that I work still, there's no traffic on the roads, guys, and I'm in Bangkok. So, and that's rush hour in the mornings. You can tell a significant difference in what life is like here. The morale of the people is just going down, 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 down. And it doesn't seem to be picking up. It doesn't seem to be, the sentiment is not getting better. There seems to be no positive sentiment from the people. There's a lot of outrage from the people of Thailand right now. And who can blame them? I mean, I'm one of the people in Thailand. I'm tired of these lockdowns, and people say, well, if you're tired, you can always go back home, blah, blah, blah. Look, Thailand is my home. Okay. It's my home right now. Yeah. I don't have a right to vote. I don't have a right to, try to influence policy decisions here or anything else. But the way my country is right now, I could go home and face another lockdown anyway. So there's really no point in the whole making the argument, if you don't like it, you can get out kind of thing. It is what it is. I've accepted the fact that I have to live with it, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. Felto says, getting to the point where infrastructure could start to decay or collapse if not used and maintained. And that's another serious concern that a lot of people have, Felto says, and it's very valid. If you can't maintain the infrastructure, then it's destined to fail at some point. So we hope that, we really hope that doesn't happen here. Journey Uninterrupted says, hey, Jeremy and all, unfortunately, the variant's going to be with us until we achieved herd immunity as folks get the V. I'm in Indonesia and we're in lockdown. People are not using common sense. Well, yep. There's some common sense issues for sure going around. And, even with this so-called herd immunity, doesn't seem that, with the new variants, for example, every study I've read, or with the virus itself, every study I've read, the jab doesn't prevent you from getting it. It just severely decreases your odds in getting it, from what I've read. But again, this is not medical advice. Don't take it as that. I'm not a doctor. But I've read that it doesn't prevent you from getting it. It will help you with the symptoms. If you do get it, you'll have a much milder case, according to CDC and FDA reports that I've read. And you're far less likely to succumb to the virus by getting the V. So I got my first jab 3 or 4 weeks ago now. I can't remember. And I had some side effects from it. I was down for about 20 hours. Couldn't really do much. And it really, for about the next week, my body didn't feel right. And I still don't feel 100% right. But, it is what it is. And in Thailand, their mindset is we've got to vaccinate our way out of this. And that's the mindset that's going on here. And, if that's what it's going to take for people to get Thailand reopened, then by all means go for it. I'm not pro nor anti jab. I'm in the middle. I have my own personal reasons for why I took the jab, and I will take the second dose as well, because I believe it's the right thing to do for me. I'm a big fan of independent freedom and independent choice. But I'm also a big fan of people using their brains as well. So I kind of get your point there. Bob says, day one wearing masks in small town USA. Interesting. Robert says, New York City required V card after 16th. I disagree. You disagree with the V card? Well, of course. I would disagree with that too. Travel Eats, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Bob says, endemic. Exactly, Bob. Exactly. We are past the P word of this, and we are into the E word of this. And that's something that, again, I'm not a medical doctor, not medical advice, not giving a medical opinion. I'm giving you my opinion. This thing has become endemic. And as soon as we start treating it that way, I think you'll see life start to return to some sense of normalcy. And I hope that's what happens. Travel Eat says maybe in Thailand, but I don't think that's the case over here. Fair enough. Gregory Gates says, I feel like patio will not be the same, and a lot of entities will take advantage of the world being in disarray. I bet they're going to tear down Walking Street on 808 and Lucifer side. What a shame. That's all possible, Gregory. That's all possible. And on the walking street part, I think they've been wanting to do that for a long time, and this may be the excuse to do it. What I do think when Patia comes back, it will be better than ever. And the reason I say that is because the way the Patia is a two-part city. Okay, it's a in the day there's plenty of activities for everything, but it's mostly a nightlife city. We all know that, an entertainment district, so to speak. And I believe that Patia is going to have to find new and creative ways. It's not just going to be when it reopens. I don't believe it'll just be, oh, we have beer bars, we have go-go's here, we have nightclubs here, we have this here. I believe because the internet exists and people have found ways, the bar owners and the employees of those bars have found ways to make money on the internet. I believe it's going to change the entire dynamic of how business is done in the nightlife scene in Pattaya, Phuket, and other places. So that's just my opinion. And I think that because of that, the creativity level will be through the roof. I really think that. Bangkok Warrior says, I agree with you, Jeremy. This will go on forever. We just have to learn to live with it. I agreed. Can't agree. I couldn't agree anymore. Jerry Uninterrupted says, I'm an American expat and love Bali. The majority of people have stopped being selfish. Foreigners have been deported here for not wearing masks or UNV. A woman sneaked out of queue, tested positive. That's never good. Definitely not a good thing. And sorry about that. Camera shake there, guys. People stop being selfish. That's subjective to me. It's subjective. What may seem selfish to somebody may be someone else's freedom and their right to choose to somebody else. So, that's a dialogue I have to have outside of YouTube. I can't have it on here. But I'm all for doing what's right. Don't get me wrong. Bangkok Warrior says, they say change is good, so keep your fingers crossed that all this is for the better. I think it will be, Bangkok Warrior. I think all this will be for the better, and I think we'll end up in a much better place than we are now. Bob says, too much, can do no more, and more. The Scotty B Show, what's up, man? Asia Unscripted says, I was last in Bangkok in 2019. It's sad to hear what's happening. It's sad to go outside in Bangkok right now. Asia Unscripted, it really is. It's rough, man. Rob P says they are pissed because they know about the $2. Yeah, I can't leave that comment up either. But the pocket lining is driving a lot of that. I feel like, and you make a good point. Before I got the jab, I was on the $2 regimen. I never had an issue. And these things exist. Some people say, some people use it, some people don't. Bob says it's worse in the States. I believe that. Bangkok Warrior says, maybe we will not see the good at the moment or the near future, but I feel given enough time, all this misery will be for the good in the end. I agree with that statement, Bangkok Warrior. Maybe a better economy and a more diverse economy. I'm thinking that the better will come with the diversity because it almost appears as though Thailand's going to have to come up with a set of, there are going to have to be some, in my opinion, there are going to have to be some regulatory changes, some policy changes. And that's going to include different visas and for different types of people. And I believe Thailand's going to have to be a little softer on letting foreigners in. Number one, to get the tourism dollars, and number two, for people like myself that want to live here but want to work, want to kind of own their own business, maybe in America, maybe here. I think they're going to have to structure some things different. so they can get some money coming in, and can really get some businesses that are working, and that become profitable and can get off the ground. But again, that depends on the government and who's in charge. So thank you guys again. Lyle, I just saw the number. Thank you guys again for hitting the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you guys. And yeah, maybe a better economy will come out of that, Bangkok Warrior. I'm certainly hoping so. Ryan M, what's up? Good to see you, man. Don't forget you can join the line group by adding me on line, and I will send you an invitation as you are a channel member. And we have lots of chats over there, daily updates. Mr. Anon does a good job of keeping us updated on a lot of things, and Ross is in there, talks a lot about financial stuff and helps with some visa questions. There's a lot of good information in that line group. It's well worth it. Janice, hello. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it very much. And I'm glad you are here in the chat with us. Bangkok Warrior says, Jeremy, I totally agree with your assessment on the jab. Correct. Thank you, sir. Rob says, Dr. F trying to patent a prophylactic that is a $2 drug. Well, you know him, right? We know what he tried. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that and take that down, because we don't. It's just, you have to be very careful what you say on here, because YouTube is very, very picky about what they consider misinformation, and even though we may know something to be true, they may consider it misinformation, and we don't want to get the video pulled down. But I'm hearing you, and I'm giving everybody time to read your comment, Rob, before I pull it down. So no disrespect to you at all, man. That being said, Journey Interrupted says no V prevents you from getting flu, etc., but you won't die. That's not necessarily true either. I've not 100% on that one. Thank you so much for the super chat there, Mr. Rob P. I appreciate that more than you could possibly imagine. Thank you very much for the super chat. Always a big help to the channel, and thank you very much for your contribution. I really, really genuinely appreciate that. And like I said, I agree with everything you're saying. I just can't leave the comments up forever on here. So, but I'm in agreement with you, especially with the I, right? With the IV, we'll call it IV. I was on that regimen as soon as I found out about it. That and a combination of vitamins, and I was fine the whole time. Had no issues. So Journey Unscripted goes on to say, same thing as what folks thought with polio. Glad you got it. I did before I left the U.S. Yeah, I got it, but I don't. There's still people that are hospitalized. If you get it in Thailand, whether you've had the vaccine or not had the vaccine, and yes, I just said the whole word and didn't mean to, but whether you've got it or not, if you test positive for it, you're going to a hospital. You're either going to a field hospital or you're going to a hospital. One of the two. And if you have mild symptoms, then they may send you home. Right now, there are 100,000 people waiting to go to a hospital. I believe that's what they said, 100,000. I think. I don't want to misquote any numbers and provide misinformation. So let's back the 100,000 number up, because I can't remember the exact number. But let's just say there are a lot of people waiting to go to a hospital right now that are at home with the illness. Prep for it says Pattaya will always recover. It will be a great nightlife center again, as fast as tourists can get there. And that's a fair statement. Prep for it, definitely a fair statement, 100%. Filto says the whole key money system needs to be eliminated. That's a very outside the box opinion, but I like it. Robert says, Gregory Gates, I agree, but can't leave the comment up. Okay. I didn't get to see it, but it's just whatever it is, Gregory, it's a YouTube thing, so don't worry, man. Bangkok Warrior says, one change they can do to attract more expat population is to get rid of that 90-day check. What a hassle. The 90-day report is a hassle, especially when the online reporting system is not working. It does become problematic. It takes time out of your day, etc., etc. So I agree. Bangkok Warrior says, maybe a simple 2-year visa without having to jump through hoops. Without having to jump through the hoops and having a good visa system here, they already have Thailand is a developing nation. They have the systems to put the information out, right, to everywhere. To like once you're in the system, you're in the nationwide system. Okay, it's not like some of the third world countries where they still use paper and documents at certain offices, and it never gets transferred to other places. Thailand can do all that electronically. So yeah, that would be cool. Gregory says, good afternoon, all. Just had to grab some lunch and a beer, and now relax. Well, hello, Gregory. Nice to see you, and thank you for dropping by. Rob P says, you're all right, old boy. I appreciate that, Rob P. Thank you very much. Thank you. Gregory Gates says, Patia may change for the best once the whole world is on the same page. Just like Nana Plaza, some guys like the old school Nana, while some guys like the most recent incarnation. That's a very fair point, Gregory. Very fair point. The truth is, none of us really know what's going to happen. And there are some people that want to be part of that rebuilding process. And I'd love to be one of them. That's all. That's really all I can say. I love Pattaya. It's one of my favorite cities in the world, hands down. Gregory Egan says, I am the same, just work to be happy and successful in my own life and don't care if people are succeeding more than me. Yeah, it doesn't matter about other people succeeding. Let them succeed. The only person's life I'm in control of is me, and there are aspects of that I can't even control. I can't control what happens inside my body. I can't control these restrictions, these lockdowns. I just have to live with them. So I can't control how many people watch my live streams or watch my videos. All I can do is try to give the most value I can and hope that people enjoy them. That's it. That's all you can do. Bangkok Warrior says, Thailand immigration is too focused on attracting the elite. That has been true in the past, I think. Tourist-rich long-term foreigners like VIP 5 and 10-year visas. How many foreigners qualify for that visa? Well, there are quite a few that can qualify for that visa, but it's not as, it's certainly not as popular as it was. That's for sure. And until Thailand opens back up and has actual businesses running in the tourist hotspots and has things for people to do, it's probably not going to be a popular visa, and people are probably not going to spend as much money on it. That's a lot of probablys, but it makes sense if you think about it. Prep for it says, great chat and info again, Jeremy. Thanks, and Robert in for the mo doing. Just have to head to work. Okay, Prep for it. Thank you for stopping by, man. I'm going to wrap this thing up shortly. Anyway. Bangkok Warrior says, immigration should focus on average foreigners with an average income, make it easy for us to stay. We contribute to Thailand's economy just by staying. That's 100% true. And I wish they would do that. I wish they would concentrate more on the average foreigner. That would be nice. As foreign tourism has suffered so bad, it would be nice to have some foreign tourists that come over here and are able to stay like myself, even work. I pay taxes over here. So I'm benefiting Thailand in many ways. My American income gets, well, the vast majority of it, and when I say the vast majority of it, I mean the vast majority of it, gets transferred over here into Thai baht, and then I spend Thai baht. So, they're making money off of me. The economy is, and the same would apply to everybody else. Journey Uninterrupted says, sorry for multiple messages, but you only get 160 characters. That's okay. I just want peeps to be safe and not get deathly ill. Unless peeps have underlying issues, V is better than the virus seeking unbe-host. Yeah, I can agree with that statement. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Rob P says Thailand immigration is on furlough now. Backpackers could rule again. Yeah, see, that's what they want to. That's kind of what they want to avoid, in my opinion, is that crowd coming back in and getting, a steadfast hold on places. Like, for example, we all know Khao San Road used to be Backpackers Paradise, right? They've completely remodeled Khao San Road. In fact, I need to go down there one day and record a video on it. But they've completely redid that road. It's a beautiful place. It doesn't look run down anymore. And there were backpackers on the street here playing music for money and that kind of thing, and you can't do that without a work permit. So it brought some bad vibes or whatever into the immigration system, and we hope that doesn't happen again. Journey Unscripted says, take care, getting on my motorbike and heading to the beach to enjoy the day. Stay safe all. Okay, man. Take care. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and shut this down, this live stream. Thank you for the contribution, Rob. Very much appreciate the super chat. And I look forward to seeing you guys same time, same place tomorrow. We'll have a different topic, and maybe we'll do a deep dive into something. I don't know. For my channel members that are in the line group, please suggest topics for tomorrow's live stream. And I'm going to be, just so you all know, I'm going to be extremely busy the rest of the day. If I don't respond to your messages, don't think I haven't read them. I have a lot of work to do on a side project that I'm working on. Yeah, that's what they say, Rob. But I have a lot of work to do on a side project. I'm going to be consumed with that pretty much the remainder of the day. And so if you don't hear back from me, don't think anything about it. I'm going to get this video published, and then I'm going to be working on that side project today and tomorrow. Hey, Griffin, I didn't even know you were in here. Good to see you, bud. So with that being said, we'll wrap it up, and thank everybody for coming in. Scotty B, thank you for being here. And Janice, you guys over in all my peeps over in the Philippines, thank you for dropping by. I appreciate that. That's it, Rob. It's time to get it done. I talked a little bit about, I put out a shorts video. If you want to watch it, it's less than 60 seconds long. And basically said, if you're feeling depressed, change something, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. I found myself in a whirlwind here where money became scarce, and because of the channel, I was able to survive for a little while. You guys are great. And, but I knew I was going to have to seek alternative methods. So I did, and I got a second job, and now I have a great opportunity, for a project to work on, and I'm going to pursue that with everything I got. So, MBS Travel, take care of yourself, sir. Bob, take care of yourself, and everybody else in the chat that, made a comment or contributed to the chat in any way. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to all my channel members for being channel members and continuing to support the DoMoreLife family. I appreciate that. Don't forget, you can come into the line group anytime. Mr. Charles White, good night to you, sir. Get some rest. Get some rest, man. I will see all you tomorrow, same time, same place. Whatever you do today, be sure you do more life. And have a great weekend, guys. Later.